Hello, hello, and welcome. Welcome, my friends, to me, Mom, and Dad. Welcome to another episode. We will, of course, have some wonderful recipes, and I will always talk to my Parkinsons family, my Parkinsons community. But first, we'll do some recipes. It's summer, and it's still hot, right, friends? We just made it through July and now we're in August, but woo, last week was 100 and something in the beginning of the week down here in the South, all over the country. So we're trying to stay outside and cook on that grill. My previous episodes, I talked about how to start the charcoal grill. In our family, we love charcoal. And so we'll stay outside for the most part with these recipes. Me, Mom, and Dad is, for any new listeners, quickly is my dad had Parkinson's, and the three of us years ago. My dad passed away some years ago, not from Parkinson's, but he was almost 80, 89 when he passed. And he lived a fruitful life tried to live a fruitful life with Parkinson's. And that's how we started this podcast with my mom and dad, and what we've learned through our down our road of when my dad had Parkinson's. And we shared the good things and the challenging things of what we learned. That's how this podcast started some years ago. So now it's me and my mom. We keep it going. My last episode, I played a recording of my dad, of me and him walking in the park, and I hope you guys enjoyed that. And today I will talk about what we've learned on this podcast after we do the recipes. So the previous episodes this summer, like I said before, we've been trying to stay outside on the grill. So let's do that. Let's start with some ribs. Now I do ribs two ways. Well, a few ways, but these two ways I'll talk about today. So remember, you're going to start that grill. I went through it a couple episodes back of how to start that charcoal grill. Just a quickie reminder of how to do that. You take your charcoal. I like to use Kingsford charcoal and fluid. So you take a big mountain of charcoal on one side of the grill and leave the other side with nothing on that side, so you can put your what you're cooking on the hot side where the charcoal is, and then move when you need to get off that hot heat. You can move over to the side where you did not put any charcoal, and you just smother it with the Kingsford fluid and light it up. So the ribs, we're gonna get some baby back ribs. You're gonna get some baby back. We do the other kind too, but we're going to do baby backs. They usually always come out nice and tender. So here's one way. First, you need to season your ribs, and you need to, if you turn the ribs over, there's a white membrane, thick looking skin. We need to get that off. So you take a knife and try to pull up a corner of the that membrane. Then get a clean kitchen towel. Once you've lifted up a corner of the membrane, you take a clean kitchen towel and hold that part you lifted up, and with that towel you'll just pull all the way. Usually you can get it. Usually you one pull, and you can pull the membrane all the way off. And with the towel, it's just easier. So with kosher salt those ribs, pepper, Then take your favorite barbecue sauce and put your ribs in a pan, and you're going to use some foil. Take your favorite barbecue sauce and pour on top of the ribs. The membrane side, where you took the membrane off, that side let be down on the pan. Now, just for a little bit, we are going to turn the oven on. 375, maybe 400. Let's say 375. Once you put the barbecue sauce on top of the ribs, put foil on top and put them in the oven and let them cook slowly for an hour and a half. Then, once they come out hour and a half, take them to the grill and let's get some grill flavor and charcoal on there. What? Now, the other way I do it, same ribs. Take the membrane off. You're going to get a bowl and mix brown sugar, kosher salt, maybe 2 teaspoons of the kosher salt. And again, some people, when they're using the rub, this is a rub, I like to still season my ribs. So same thing, kosher salt and pepper on your ribs, and then in the brown sugar put a teaspoon. I said 2 before, but I forgot about the seasoning of the ribs. So just 1 teaspoon of kosher salt in the brown sugar, a pinch of cayenne pepper. Yeah, maybe half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper. With my mom, she has acid reflux, so I kind of back off the cayenne pepper a bit. But folks, in your family that can handle it, do a teaspoon, friends, of cayenne pepper. And then onion powder, a teaspoon of onion powder. Mix that brown sugar all up. Sometimes I'll throw some garlic powder in there too. And you will rub this brown sugar all over the ribs. Now, let's go back to the ribs we took out of the oven with the barbecue sauce. You want to take them to the grill and put them on the side of the grill that has the charcoal. That's going to be the hottest side. And let those ribs cook for, well, they've already cooked for a good, so like 20 minutes, let them get some char on the hot side of the grill. And then go back and put the top on the grill. And then you don't want them to burn, so take a look at them after like 20 minutes. Then move them to the other side of the grill where there's less heat. And then let them keep cooking over there. Turn them over. Now we're back to the rub. You're rubbing the brown sugar all over one side and the other side, and take them to the grill. Now with these ribs, they haven't cooked at all. So you're going to start these ribs on the side that does not have any charcoal. Let them cook for like an hour. Go check them. You'll see that they're getting nice. That caramelization is all over the place from the brown sugar. After about an hour, you can tell they'll start falling off the bone. And if you want some more char, move them over to the side where the charcoal, direct heat on there. And but be careful, because you don't want them to totally burn. So, you're going back and forth from the charcoal side to the no charcoal side. Getting nice, friends. That's cooking on the grill for the summer. So here's a recipe. We're trying to stay inside. Is microwave brownie bowl. It's going to be so good. You'll need some ice cream. Okay, get your pencils ready. You will need a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a 1/4 cup of granulated sugar, 2 tablespoons of brown sugar, 3 tablespoons of cocoa powder, a pinch of kosher salt, 2 tablespoons of salted butter, melted. So you want to melt that butter. 1 teaspoon of vanilla bean paste, 2 tablespoons of chocolate chips, 2 tablespoons of toffee bits, 1 tablespoon of caramel sauce. And then you're going to make a glaze once you're cooked these brownies. And the glaze is a 1/4 cup of powdered sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 2 teaspoons of milk, and your vanilla ice cream. So all you do is mix the flour, granulated sugar, brown sugar. Did I say brown sugar? Yeah, brown sugar. 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. Mix the flour, granulated sugar, and your brown sugar and your cocoa and your salt. Mix all that in a bowl. And your 3 tablespoons, you need 3 tablespoons of water in a microwave safe bowl. Mix it all together. And mix in after you've done all the dry ingredients in that water, you're going to mix in your melted butter and your vanilla bean paste. Fold in your chocolate chips and your toffee bits. Swirl in your caramel sauce. Now, sometimes I don't use any toffee bits. I do use chocolate chips. That makes it more richer. And caramel sauce. And for 2 minutes on the high setting, you'll put in the microwave and let the brownie sit for a minute. While it's sitting, you're doing your glaze, which you will combine the powdered sugar, your cocoa, and milk in a small bowl until you have a thick, spreadable mixture. So good. Pour on top of the brownies. Then take your ice cream, scoop it on top of that. That sounds so good, right? You're welcome, friends. Isn't that good? For the summer. And you just use the microwave for a little bit while your ribs are cooking. So good, friends. So good. Cooking outside. We started sharing these recipes for those new listeners while my dad had Parkinson's, to keep him happy and joyful. When he first got diagnosed, we all as a family made a pact, my brother and sister and all our friends, that we'd gather more visiting he and my mom, and just be together, fellowshipping as family and friends. And cooking is always a part of how we get together, how we got together, how we still get together. And that's how we started sharing these recipes on Me, Mom, and Dad podcast. And I always talk to my Parkinson's community on Facebook and other social media. I saw some comments of Parkinson's folks asking, does the medication interfere with the meds for Parkinson's? My dad was on carbidopa levodopa, and I think a lot of people with Parkinson's are on that. If you hear the noise, sorry, in my little room, it started storming. If you hear that, you might not hear it. Anyway, that's what it is, just some rain. Anyway, they were asking if other medications interfere with carbidopa levodopa, Parkinson's medication. And I will tell you from our experience with my dad, yes, other meds did interfere. We learned the hard way when he first got diagnosed, and we were giving him the carbidopa, the Parkinson's meds, and he was on blood pressure meds and other things, and we were just giving it to him pretty much all together, and it was horrible. He couldn't walk. The carbidopa would help him not have tremors, and he could walk if we gave him the meds properly. But in the beginning, we were given him the blood pressure, for example, too close to the cortidopa, and it did interfere. And common sense told my mom and I, okay. And we found out he needed to have the cortidopa on an empty stomach, as I shout from the rooftops on all of these episodes to, whoa, it's coming down, huh? Anyways, just rain, folks. We gave him his cortidopa on an empty stomach. His first meds were cortidopa was 5 o'clock in the morning on an empty stomach. And we gave him nothing else, no other meds with it. And we figured out how to give him his high blood pressure, and what else was he on? Mainly blood pressure meds. We just waited to give him the blood pressure meds because it really did interfere. We talked to the neurologist about it, and he agreed. Yeah, those other meds can interfere, and the blood pressure really did interfere with the meds. So we figured out how to, like maybe during his lunch meal, we give him his blood pressure meds while he was eating and other meds. And then we waited 2 hours once he had his breakfast or his lunch. While he was eating, we'd give him the other meds. And we waited 2 hours for his stomach to get empty again and gave him the cortidopa on it by itself. Stand alone. So yeah, that's what we learned. Again, I shout from the rooftops every episode. My dad lived a fruitful life. Like, fruitful means most times folks didn't even know he had Parkinson's because he was walking and had a pep in his step because he really did work out. Before Parkinson's, my dad went to the gym. He was a fit little tiny guy. So he was used to going to the gym, and once the tremors and all that came, we figured out that we had to really get him in there. He rode the bike, the stationary bike, and we walked in the park, and he did it all. He enjoyed going to the gym, and studies have proven that exercise is the key. So try to get up and do something. Walk, everything. But that riding of the bike, stationary bike, it helps. And he walked on a treadmill. You see now that they have boxing groups around the country with Parkinson's patients. That started, some of them in the beginning were named after Muhammad Ali. And they are groups around the country for Parkinson's patients that are really, really great too for Parkinson's patients. So get those arms, get those legs moving, friends. That's the key. Exercise is the key. And one of the symptoms can be from Parkinson's, can be depression. And that is how we as a family started being around my dad more and more and more as a family, my mom and dad. Just keeping him laughing. Whenever my brother or sister would come visit, his face would just light up with joy, and his grandkids. All the time. That was what we did to keep him joyful. Some people are asking also about hallucinations with Parkinson's is one of the symptoms as well. We did have challenges with that, especially in the beginning. And that's how we had my brother and my sister and my nephews, my dad's grandkids, coming around more so he would take his mind off of the hallucinations, seeing things that weren't there. A long, long time ago, my brother, in the beginning, I told my brother, it's real scary because, Dad, it mainly happened at night. And my brother said to me, Tia, because my dad's a pastor, so we grew up with him, being a pastor, a deacon. So faith is in us as his kids. So my brother said to me, Tia, I know that medically you're telling me all this. And he said, but I want you and mom and dad, because I was the one that was living with my mom and dad every day. So my brother said, before you go to bed at night, I want you guys to say a prayer every night. Start doing that. I know, he said, that these are the symptoms and medically. And I tell you, we started doing that. And then we started singing his favorite hymns. And every night, my mom and dad, we did it every night. And it became so joyful to us. We'd sing his favorite hymns, my mom's favorite hymns, and we would laugh and just sing every night. And I'm telling you, he saw less things. The hallucinations and the things that happened were less, like a lot less, like most nights. It just gave him peace. And I'm a witness to that. I'm honestly telling you that's what happened. Now, the neurologist, we told him about the hallucinations, and he did put him on. You guys probably know, what's the Seroquel, but I probably got the name wrong. Seroquel. Anyway, you guys probably know there's a night medication that they give you, and that put him to sleep as well. And we prayed every night. We didn't miss a night. If ever I had to go out for something, I'd come back home, or he and my mom would do it. And we'd sing our little song, and he was peaceful. In the beginning, though, when it first started happening, it was terrible, those hallucinations. So that's one of the symptoms. And that's how we started this podcast. You new listeners, those of you that continue to listen, we're so grateful to you for listening. We're gaining more and more listeners, and we're thankful. So on this page, you new listeners, please subscribe. Please subscribe to this podcast. The page that you're looking at, up the top, you see a Wi-Fi looking icon. If you click on that, I believe that's how you can subscribe to the podcast. I usually give you 3. I only gave 2 recipes, but every episode I was trying to look for a 3rd one I could give you all. I have all my recipes all around me in my little podcast sound room. I do have that I've done. Okay, I'll do this one. This is the famous hot cakes, pancakes, although we were trying to stay out of the kitchen for the summer. But I've done this on previous episodes. It's my mom's famous pancake recipe. And I'm looking at the recipe, and it's like a old, she's had it for years, and if you look, it's so old. So let's do it. Hot cakes or pancakes. You need 1 cup of sifted flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of sugar, half teaspoon of salt. She wrote in butter, but she doesn't say how much. Oh, no, wait. So, okay, got those. And now 1 cup of milk, 1 egg, 2 tablespoons of butter. That's what we got. 2 tablespoons. She's got written her handwriting. I remember now. 2 tablespoons of butter. So you sift together dry ingredients in the sifter. Boom, boom, boom. You know, to squeeze all your flour in there. Comes out so fine. Beat your egg and milk together. Mix into dry ingredients. Add your butter. Mix briskly. That's it, friends. This is so easy, and these are so good. We use, when we're not doing stuff from scratch. We use the box pancakes. It's tasty, but when you do these from scratch, oh my goodness. So you get your pan, hot griddle, and grease your pan like a tablespoon or two of your oil. I like to put a little pad of butter in with the oil. Let that skillet get hot and then pour like a tablespoon or two of your batter. Once you start seeing bubbles, don't do anything till you see bubbles. Then you are ready to flip, friends. Flip. They're the best. You're welcome. Yay, yay, yay. Awesome. I hope you guys are having a great, great summer. We'll start getting into fall, and then we'll do some fall recipes. Thank you all for listening. Again, please subscribe. And everybody, I talk to the Parkinsons community, but everybody, exercise, exercise, exercise is the key. Get up, Parkinson's people, and do it. Thank you guys for listening. Please enjoy the music.